We are live, but real quick, everyone, we got a sweet intro that Crystal worked on, so want to make sure to show it off. Be back in just a second. All right, everyone. Ooh, we got some firsts in. This is cool. Thank you all for jumping in. This is Play Economy. I'm Ryan Osoris Rex, and
I'm
here with
Beckatron.
wonderful and illustrious Beckatron. Every week we just want to hop on, play some video games, talk to people building in Web3, and pontificate about the future of player ownership, Web3, gaming. And today we are fortunate enough to chat with the folks from DeFi Kingdoms, Bolon and Rissen. I'll let themselves give themselves a quick intro here in just a second, but we're super excited because this is officially the first look at DFK Duel, and we're really excited to get in. Rissen, Bolon, go ahead, give yourselves a little bit of intro. I'm sure you know most of the crowd already, but
Hey guys. Well, first of all, thank you for having us. We're super excited. We had to pull some strings and maybe pull some teeth to try and make this happen, but
hey, we
we're
break
excited.
kneecaps left and right here. That's what we do. All right.
We're very excited. Our community and everybody that's followed us is very excited for a look into DFK Duels, which is one of the games that was going to be available, and you get to see how Bolin beat me because he basically cheated.
When you stack the deck in your favor, it makes everything a little bit easier. All right.
Hey, when you have control of the deck, you got to stack it, right? You know?
Nobody's going to be surprised to see what he's done.
Nice. And I guess you know the DeFi Kingdom community knows you really well, but for the Blockworks community, I'd love to let you introduce yourselves a little bit.
Introduce myself.
Yeah, like give a little background, give some color. Like, why are people listening and paying attention?
My name is Rissen. I am the event manager. Done social media, background stuff, kind of just like everything else in Web3, if you work in it, you wear multiple hats. So I do a lot with the community, mostly messing with the community, messing with Discord, making Bolon's life harder, both online and real life. Been with the project since October, so been around for a while.
Long time crypto.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm not going anywhere. They can't.
They'll take you out kicking and screaming. I hear you.
If I've been employed this long and they haven't got rid of me for some of the things that I've done, then I don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm pretty safe.
Nice. And I just saw Barry is in the building, by the way. So Barry, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. But Bolon, go ahead.
Nice. I'm Bolon. I'm the community director for DeFi Kingdoms, so I'm the one cleaning up his messes. But no, most of what I do is, Discord, Telegram, a little bit of Twitter, that kind of thing. But a lot of making sure that our community's voices are heard and that they have the information they need and that we build a really positive atmosphere and place to be. And that's one thing we talk about it a lot, but I'm very I want to say proud, but that sounds more like I'm giving myself credit for it, and I don't give myself credit for it. But we have a really, really positive and friendly environment in our community, which is really hard to find in any online space, but especially in crypto. And it makes me really happy every day that we have such a welcoming community. And so it's a really, really fun place to be. But like Rissen also joined in October with Rissen.
We came as a package deal.
We did. DFK launched in late August, so I think we came in like 5 weeks after launch. So we, pretty much been here since pretty close to the start.
Is this similar to like way back in elementary school, like kickball days? Were you guys always a package deal wherever you went?
We've worked multiple companies together, multiple jobs. We've been friends for way too long.
Okay.
So
this is not the first time we've been hired together.
And I don't know if they're brothers, but they're probably just like one's a cyborg, one's real, but they're just the same person controlled by one entity.
Risen is
Swapping
the
around.
cyborg.
You can't make
Yeah,
that
for
joke.
sure. Yeah.
Because when DFK first started, the running joke was that it was all one person, just wearing multiple different names. And
So far, I am
pretending to be
not
a team.
disproven in my. You guys are sitting on separate screens right now. For all I know, AI generated face right here.
If this was AI generated, I'd be a lot more handsome than I am.
Right? Yeah, I would do better for myself.
We all would.
Ironically,
Fair enough.
actually, my brother does also work for DFK. It's just not Risen.
Wow, interesting. Well, that's cool. Well, again, thank you guys for hopping in. Really excited to dig in and see what you guys are doing. But honestly, I want to get like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, especially in the Web3 and GameFi space, know a bit about DeFi Kingdoms already. So like, let's dive in. Like, do you guys want to show? Like, I don't know how the community's feeling, but do you guys want to like see it? Like, is this like something that's gonna happen in?
Straight to dessert.
Yeah. We don't need any vegetables. We don't need meat. We don't need entree. Let's get right to the good stuff.
Yeah,
All right. I'm gonna pull you up now. There we go. So I guess walk us through start to finish. Give us the live demo. How we feeling?
So this is
first I'm gonna give first I'm gonna give a whole bunch of disclaimers.
Okay.
So primary disclaimer: people have already noticed this is the old map. Yes, this is the old map. So this is one of our test environments. This is not real.
It's not live yet.
It's not live. It's not real. It's not finished. So this is a very, very early alpha look at DFK Duels. So that's why the old marketplace is here instead of the new marketplace that we actually put out yesterday. So yes, this is a test environment. This is just deployed into our alpha sites. So also with that, some of the heroes that you're all of the heroes that you're gonna see, everything in there, all of that is on our testnet alpha site. None of it are like my actual heroes. Yes, you're gonna see a level 20 hero. It's testnet.
Yeah, this is how he cheated. This is how he cheated.
I may have intentionally gotten a level 20 hero just for a duel against Rissen, just for fun. So I just, I want to make sure that everybody knows this is all testnet and nothing is finalized. You're going to see some prices, that kind of thing. All of that is still subject to change, but the core functionality is here. You can see what it's going to look like, what you can expect. So
Dueling
with that,
Bob.
we'll start. Yeah. So we have Dueling Bob here.
This really fancy fantasy name that's like of Elvish descent, I believe.
Yeah, most definitely.
If I'm catching that correctly. Yeah. I'm picking up on the undertones.
He kind of looks like an angry dwarf, but
okay.
He's wearing loafers. How angry can
he is wearing loafers.
You put the man wearing loafers in charge of the duel aspect of DeFi Kingdoms?
Look at the hairstyle here. All right. So one last disclaimer, and then we'll get started. So not all of the UI interface is here yet. What we're going to actually be doing is we're going to look at what you would normally see to get set up, and then we're going to actually look at replays of duels that we ran a few minutes ago, because the actual playing of the duel isn't implemented yet, but the replay is, so that way you can see what it really looks like. So you would talk to Dueling Bob here, our new best friend, and you would go to start duel. So this is the graphic that most of you have probably seen teased before. This is a beautiful, beautiful graphic. And so there's 3 different types of duels, basically. So you've got your solo, your 1v1, your squad, which is 3v3, and your war, which is 9v9. War. So
bloodshed, all the good stuff. All right.
100%. And you can see underneath how many like pending matches there are, which obviously right now there are none. But you would normally be able to see how many pending matches there are that you could potentially be joining into. So what we're going to do is we'll click squad here. So this is what your UI would look like. So you would go in here to choose your heroes. Again, all of these are fake testnet heroes.
They look legit. Like you
Why
should just
don't-
hand
why
them
don't you
out to all
show
the
them?
listeners today.
pulling it up.
Yeah.
Show them the BS. You
So-
know,
All
some
right.
level. Oh, you have multiple level 20s.
I
God,
do,
you're
yeah.
terrible.
So this one seems to have gotten stuck when it sent to me, but that's fine. But yeah, we have we have these 2 level 20s that I used against Rissen in one of our earlier duels.
Wow.
So
Oh,
especially
yes.
this guy, especially this guy, it ended up being a strength-based duel with his 48 base stat. That was a good time. So you would go in here, you'll select your heroes, and then
Ooh,
you'd
all
be
right.
able to so there would be a gold fee. Again, this is subject to change, so don't get
Okay.
too fixated on these numbers, but there would be a
Everyone write
gold
this
fee.
down. Write
Right.
it down and forever hold Bolon to this moment.
Torn.
All right?
We
Yeah.
already were gonna do that. Like,
Yeah, no, 100%.
Without any help from me. Okay, cool.
That's why I keep disclaiming it. But
Yeah.
so you would have a gold fee here. You have a jewel fee here. The jewel fee would determine basically what you would be eligible to win, and then you would send to duel. So we're gonna actually.
So am I like if I put that up and I lose? Am I losing that jewel to? I mean, all of those numbers being set in stone.
You're actually
obviously.
burning. Yeah, you're actually burning the fees either way, and then you're getting tickets if you win. But
okay.
the entry fees are spent regardless. And so essentially, you would then sign up your squad or your army or your one lonesome hero that you're sending out on their own. And so you'd queue them up, and then you would find a match for them, and then you would fight that match.
Which there's going to be public matches. There's ranked. There's also going to have the ability for you to do private matches.
And practice matches.
So, you can actually, with your actual heroes, show that you can win, unlike what Bolon's done.
Okay.
But it's going to be nice because now, instead of just looking at the hero and be like, oh, this guy's going to be so strong, look at these stats, it's you now can actually whip people with your bad hero, your good hero.
And that's one thing that's very interesting, which we'll talk about here in just a second as we watch one of these replays. But there really aren't going to be bad heroes for a duel. There might be better heroes, but there won't really be good or bad. So if you look at view duels, you can see any heroes that you currently have queued up, which obviously I don't have any right now, but you can also look at your completed. And so you can see the different duels that I have fought, mostly against Rissen. There was 1 or 2 against Winston. Winston is our quality assurance guy, so he was fighting me earlier too.
I need a better, like, if Winston is watching this, apologies, Winston. You are like, what's your role here, Winston? Like, I need Winston. To me, sounds like the unsung hero of DFK right now.
He is, yeah. Winston Jazz Hands.
Okay, all right. We're already doing Winston better service.
Even better. Hang on, just to highlight this. On our test net, he's Winston Test Hands, which I really appreciated.
All right.
And I feel like we need to recognize. But yeah, so
that's
he's
clever.
essentially
Very
he does
clever.
quality assurance. He does regression testing. So
okay.
once we have a feature developed, he tries to break it and then make sure that it doesn't break other features.
Wow.
So no, Winston is most definitely one of our heroes.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. So you can see the different duels here. Like I said, all of the UI work isn't done yet. So like it's cutting off at the top, but that'll obviously all be fixed. So what do y'all want to start with?
When will devs do something? When will devs do something about that UI?
Pre-launch.
Fair enough.
So
let's start off with this. Let's start with a one-on-one. Keep it easy, keep it light. All right, yeah, one-on-one. I like that.
Let's look at this one-on-one that I beat Rissen on.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right,
We're not winning. Definitely not winning this one.
So this will actually be like one of the normal features is that you can replay your matches, which is pretty cool actually. So you can go back and watch them. So I'm just gonna let it play, and then we can kind of go back and talk about what actually happened. But first, I think we should just let it play.
Let it rip.
Ooh. Are we adding in our own sound effects? Gonna go.
Yeah. Look at the strength score.
What? Wow. Ooh, by the way, I think we already have challengers in the chat. It looks like Afromaster and Purple Onion are the first that are going to be dueling live. If we can somehow set that up in the future, I think that would be fantastic.
I believe that, yeah.
Let the onioning begin. All right? Yeah.
So just to go back and we'll use the same one real quick, but just to whoops. Come on, give me the replay. There we go. All right, so just to give a little bit of background here. So
all right.
as we start
sound
playing,
effects excluded this time, of course.
Yes. So
although if
I'm
you
on
need
the
them,
left.
If you need a recording artist to do some sound effects for you all, I'm here. I'm always, always able and willing to add any sound effects to any game.
Apparently, sound effects are way harder to make than I ever gave credit for.
This is my shot, Mom! I'm gonna make it!
I didn't know that, and then our composer was like, "No, that's like really difficult." And I was like, "Oh, who knew?" Not me. So I'm on the left, Rissen's on the right. So this is my level 20 warrior that I brought to troll Rissen with. So the first thing that happens is one of the stats is randomly selected, and so that's why I was saying that there aren't really going to be bad heroes in duels necessarily, because the stat is randomly selected. So you may pick the hero that you think is the best, but if their worst stat gets picked, their worst stat is picked. So that's going to be the first thing that happens is that random stat's going to be selected, and so it'll be a straight comparison between the two. So 48 to 8, pretty standard.
Pretty standard deviation between two heroes.
Yeah. Natural.
Totally.
It's what you want in a head-to-head match for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. And so the next thing that happens is a random background is selected. And so the random background is the middle one. Sorry, I paused a little bit late. But a random background is selected. And so if either of them have that background, they would get a bonus. So Rissen's hero had the right background, so it got a +4. After that...
Still not enough.
No, nowhere close.
RNG, please.
After that, then a random element is chosen. And so the random element comes up, and if either of the heroes has the right element, then they would get a bonus for that. And then the last thing is just a straight random roll for one of the two heroes. And so like my hero got that last random roll. And so we can actually look here on the end screen at the details. And so, and actually I misspoke. Sorry, Rissen's hero got the element bonus, not the background bonus. But so you can look here. So this is my hero, Lassiker 4Blood. That's a pretty cool name. So you've got your stat value, your background bonus, your element bonus, and then the chance bonus. Same thing on this side for Rissen's hero. And then you've got your total.
Totally same thing. Same.
Yeah. Very fair battle.
Listen,
we actually have a question.
If we just cover that 4, there you go.
We have a question from Crypto Meme Team Goose, which is awesome.
If it's Crypto Meme, I'll answer it.
What if they both have the same background or what have you?
Then they would both get that same bonus.
Okay. And by the way, feel free to ask questions. This is like your time, DFK community or Blockers community or whoever, or Mom if you're out there, or Grandma if you're out there too. If you want to like drop a line in the chat.
Give some
Mom's trying to figure out when you're going to make it.
We're doing a good job.
Yeah.
That's all we're looking for.
Of course. So we got another question. Bjorn, Lothbrock77. Great skull. Avatar, by the way. Do you get tickets when losing?
My understanding is no, I won't swear to that, but I believe you only get tickets for your wins.
Only the winners.
Yeah, this will not
There's
use
no
stamina.
consolation prizes in life.
Yeah, this will not use stamina, by the way, Prime Tizzle.
Interesting. Also, shout out, hi Grandma, thanks for making it. I appreciate you showing up today.
So I simp for all Team Goose. Calm down.
Yeah. Can pets help is a good question, I think, given the recent egg hatching that's been going on pretty recently.
To my current knowledge, the
Ooh,
answer
hold.
would be no. But
Okay.
I know also from, especially for any of you that were in the pets discussion channel yesterday, and if you weren't, all of the messages are pinned. But Hubert Cumberdale is our mechanics director. He did a little impromptu AMA in the pets discussion channel yesterday, and one of the things that he had talked about a couple times is that there's a lot of like optional functionality that's been built into pets that can then be implemented.
Yeah.
So what is already ready to be implemented or will be with the level 10 profession quests, which is when they'll actually be implemented, that may not be the end of it. There may be more features added later on.
Always leave room for us to integrate other features or connect the dots between one thing and another, add utility to items in the game or NFTs. So
yeah, for the record, yes, this is on testnet, but it is on one of our closed alpha sites. It is not anywhere that can be accessed currently.
you guys need to understand. Me and
Let
Bolon
the audience know what they need to understand, Rissen. They're gonna love being talked down to this way. Please
understand that we barely got this, and
Yeah.
this is me and Rissen, or me and Bolon playing this for the first time that it wasn't natively on one of the devs' computers.
Yeah, we got them to deploy this for this.
So it's on a super
Interesting.
secret testnet.
Matt Compton, the bonuses
Wow.
can differ. Yes, they are not necessarily flat numbers. One thing that has been mentioned, but we aren't going to give full details on, but like some of the element bonuses, they might be stronger against other elements. So you might get a bigger bonus for some elements if your opponent is a certain other element.
Yeah, and if you
So there's
see at the
different kinds
bottom
of stuff.
of the screen during the gameplay, you'll see a little symbol that has seemingly a bunch of elements on it, and then lines going from one element to another. And you can interpret that however you would like.
I have a question.
Yes.
So what rewards do you get when you get the tickets for winning the duel?
So what the tickets will allow you to do, and I'm trying to remember how much of this we've publicly said and how much we haven't, so I don't put
Hey,
myself
alpha is alpha, and we love it here on Play Economy. If you're ever bringing the heat, this is the time to share it.
I'm really trying to remember how much we have said publicly.
I'm sure
You said it all. You said. I'm pretty sure I already read it in the Discord
No,
somewhere.
I know for
Yeah.
a fact that Fox talked about this in our AMA on this past Monday also, so I know some of it has been said. But essentially, we are going to have, so if you, to my knowledge, if you lose, you get nothing. Straight Willy Wonka. You lose, you get nothing. Good day, sir. It's my favorite GIF. If you win, you get tickets, raffle tickets, and the number of tickets you get is based on how much jewel you spend to join the duel. So that's, I'll actually switch back to a different screen. So again, these numbers are not finalized; they are subject to change. But that's this
Set
right
in
here.
stone.
So if you look at the jewel fee, you have your win tickets right here. If you go with the higher jewel fees, you get more tickets. So if you win, you get the tickets. You can then use those tickets to enter various raffles at various times for various prizes. So that's essentially, the tickets can be for a whole lot of different things, just depending on what you decide to enter into.
Wait, so let me see if I'm understanding this correctly. I got to spend jewel to then win tickets, so I'm spending real money to actually hope to get something else.
I mean,
Coming
yes,
in with
but
the
isn't that
bangers
all
today,
play to earn?
Bekatron.
I mean,
But aren't we trying to be play and earn? Isn't that like the term that they're throwing around right now? Like, what's the?
So this is like it's like David Buster's, basically.
Exactly.
A
Yeah,
little
you
bit.
gotta
Bit
go
of
for the
mini
claw
I love David
machine.
Buster's. I have no problem with David Buster's. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It's about
Yeah,
the experience. That's what you're buying at that point.
Yes.
It's the experience of going up against unavailable level 20 heroes that is really what you're looking for.
Worth every
And,
penny.
But what I really want to know is like what the raffle's like. Is this going to be like a Powerball style, like Powerball style? You know, are we getting like $1 billion if you win? If you put in your tickets, what's happening?
So, to my current knowledge, we will have various raffles that go on for various amounts of time and start at different times. So that way, like, there'll be raffles for people in every time zone all over the world. Some of them may be very long, some of them may be very short. And so, how
Big
good the
gold fat
prize
nuggets.
is will probably correlate to how many people enter into that raffle, which will then relate to your odds of winning that raffle.
Okay. So maybe people
Uh,
are going to join factions, right? And it's going to be like no one joined this raffle, and only one guy, but then he's got to share the spoils, whatever it is.
Listen, that's up to
Could
people.
be.
Coordinated.
Hey,
Coordinated raffling. Everyone that's listening, here's the strategy.
here we go.
Yeah.
Get in and win.
You just have to
And-
trust that other people won't go in and, you know.
Exactly.
It's all
And
smart
there-
contracts now anyway, right? Like, we'll
Yeah.
figure it out somehow.
Well, and there will
Decentralized
be
autonomous
some-
organizations.
There will be some balancing with the matchmaking. Like, obviously, right now there isn't, because if you want to matchmake, you get the only other person who's on this alpha site. But there will be some balancing when it comes to the matchmaking. And one thing too that it comes up a lot, but
Similar
I
to
feel
this
like
question.
what's that?
Yeah, balance.
Oh.
Similar to this question about balancing and making sure things are fair. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I didn't even see that question, but yes.
Yeah.
One thing that comes up a lot, and I'm sure it's come up in this chat. I had been trying to read it, and then I got distracted for a second. Yes, we're going to show another duel.
Yes.
But one thing that comes up a lot that I feel like is always worth mentioning is the outlook of like, oh, if I only have one chance to win, I can't win. And that's just really not the case. And like we've seen that with every raffle we've ever done. Thinking about the Crystal Veil Gen Zero raffles specifically, there was one of those raffles where it was, I'm trying to remember the specific numbers now, but like I think it was 12% of the winners. I think it was one for 100 Gen Zeros, and 12 of the 100 winners had 3 entries or less. Like that's kind of the beauty of RNG, right? And that's the raffle system, is there's not this guarantee of, oh, if you only have 1 or 2 chances, you have no chance. That's not really the case at all.
And these raffle tickets aren't going to be from, oh, I'm just buying and holding a bunch of heroes or
Right.
extra or things like that.
Mm.
These are players that are getting in here, matchmaking, playing the game with their heroes, playing against their friends.
Using Jewel, using gold.
Yeah, so it's going to benefit the people who actively play the game rather than holders.
Yeah. And the one of the biggest things to keep in mind as well, especially when it comes to, these more mini game style features, is that they're ultimately entirely optional. Especially with something like this, there's no stamina usage and there's no XP reward. So it's literally like if you want to go, play this, go head to head with people, you spend a little bit of Jewel, you can get some raffle tickets, you're getting something out of it, you're getting the opportunity, but your hero is not going to be worse off than someone else's hero because you don't play duels. But if you go questing and you do professions quest or training quest or whatever your preferred quest is, and then you're out of stamina and you have 8 hours until your stamina is refilled, maybe you want something to do at some point. You get a little bored, you want to have a duel. So it's just it's more about options. And one thing too, I know I said none of these numbers are finalized or anything, but keep in mind, like, even the mechanics themselves, as far as like entry and winning and all, that is neither Rissen nor I's departments. So there
So
is
blame them in Discord, blast them at them
Absolutely.
on Twitter, because it's 100%, like you heard today,
I want to
in their
see
control.
another duel.
Yes, pull up another
We're
duel.
we're gonna do a
Let's-
9v9.
9v9 war.
Let's play the last 9v9.
That's what I'm
Is there
pulling
a
up
fair
right now.
duel? Is there ever a fair duel?
Yeah.
Well, winning everything.
Say that again.
Are you? Is it all one sided? Is there ever like a fair, like, is there a surprise win where like we think the cards are stacked favorably in one, and then based on these
This
The
bonus?
underdog comes through.
Yeah.
All right.
This one right here. Where
Right.
Rissen actually managed to beat me, and
The one time he didn't have
Alright.
the level 20 heroes in there.
no, I
All
did.
right.
They were in here. I still
Hit
lost.
play. We'll throw in the sound effects again to make sure everyone knows that they're gonna. This is my tryout, so we'll pass the recording to your team. Zoom. Addition. Color selection.
One thing that is
And
pretty cool.
kaboom!
with,
Oh, explain.
Like the 3v3 and the 9v9 duels is the randomization, like the random stat, the random background, the random element. It's different for each of the head-to-heads. So each of these matches is having its own match within the match, essentially.
Interesting. Very cool. All right. I'm just gonna ask. When do we get some gameplay that isn't just click and wait?
Ooh.
I'm very curious. I mean, like, I'm a huge. So I'll preface that. Like, I'm a huge fan. I've been mining. I got my seeds all LPing. I've been fishing like a champion. Like, these forearms from fishing in all that fish all day long are just super strong, Popeye level. Like, don't get me wrong. Absolutely love it. But I want to be able to, like, my brother's like a big WoW player. I want to, like, get him into this.
You're on the spot, Bolon. You have all the answers. You're in.
I'm on. I'm on this. All right. When? I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna try.
Is this like a 2-month thing? Is this like a 1-year thing? Like how long are we?
I'll be honest. I don't feel like I can give you a good answer.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I'd
That
rather you not lie to my face on our first Play Economy podcast or show.
Yeah. I mean, it is like, yes, that is absolutely the intent and like where things are going, and the plan, and I think we'll see some of the framework for that. I should say, I think we'll see some of the framework for that.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to features like traveling. Travel is going to be a pretty big part of a lot of the future for the game, because
cool.
right now, and I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily think about the fact, you look at the map. First off, the map only has 100 plots of land out of 1,000. So, like, visible. So there's still going to be a whole lot of map to come. But even beyond that, your heroes aren't actually leaving the capital. Everything is in Adeline, which is the capital. Your profession quests are there. The alchemist is there. The portal is there. Everything is in that capital. And so what travel is going to allow us to do is have different interactions outside of the capital. So that way you can travel to dungeons or to different zones or to different areas. Maybe
higher
some of those areas
quests.
Right, maybe some of those areas are better for certain levels. So travel is going to be really crucial to a lot of the future gameplay, which does also absolutely include more of the game experience end as well. So that's definitely going to be a lot of the future.
And if
like I said, yeah, go ahead.
So I mean, we just launched pets yesterday, right? So if
Congrats, by the way, that's awesome.
Thank you.
I've been seeing the Discords and the Twitter's blowing up. Like, I've seen a lot of cute little.
So there was a much easier
around.
way of doing pets that could have been pushed out months ago. We could have taken an easier route, not had as much variety, the ability to have them affect in the future your professions quests, battle, PvP. Having these really complicated way of doing pets was worth the wait. So ultimately, it's not that we can't just say, hell, here's some PvP or here's this. we ultimately want to bring to the table something that we are proud of, that everybody's going to be excited for, that truly is different to the blockchain gaming. So I'm personally in the camp of, I am happy to wait for something actually game changing, for something different that nobody's seen before, for integration between all the different sections of our game that will actually make it a true RPG experience where there's balanced economy, pets, items, PvP, PvE, quest lines, storytelling, lore. And right now, you're just seeing bits and pieces of it come out. And ultimately, things like this are fun, but it was a lot easier to get out because it's not super challenging. It's not our PvP.
Well, I think I
So we're
gotta.
not
I
going to
mean,
hold off.
yeah, I gotta interject there because I feel like that is, even though maybe some people are saying underwhelming. I hate to say that. I read that in the chat. But whatever. Like,
Not
it's
here.
called,
We're
like,
not said by us.
Yeah.
But I think what's fair to say though is there's some games and they don't even need to be named, or they could be named, right? Like Star Atlas, for example, that is like insanely ambitious, but it's like, okay, really, you're not getting anything for a really long time. So it's kind of like, I think having little roadmap nuggets is probably more intriguing for people than having nothing for a long time. But I like what you mentioned about kind of storytelling and lore. How are you guys thinking about that? Because I could see, like the storytelling being, so I grew up as an anime RPG player, right? So like,
Yeah.
I'm so used to like the little maps and like the guy going, but like at certain interjections, there were just like incredible animated snippets, right? Of like a minute, 2 minutes. So I got to understand the characters more in the lore. And that's what I played the game for. I played that game with terrible interface, right? Because I just wanted those 2-minute clips. So like,
Yeah.
when can we kind of expect that and more from DeFi Kingdom to get to know the characters so that, I don't care if they're the 2D pixelated guy, I can see Dueling Bob with his loafers and all of his glory and like, doing what Dueling Bob does and getting to know him.
So we have a wonderful lore department, but also every single person that works on our game and for DeFi Kingdoms or Kingdom Studios is exactly like that. They grew up with the old school RPGs, the fantasy,
Final Fantasy being a big one.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like that's all what we want to see. We want it to be engaging on a level that, isn't the easiest road, but even all of the pets that were launched yesterday, each one of them has lore written about them. They're integrated into the history of our game, and our lore guys have way more done than everything else because they're creative. They just went off, and we're just
Fan
finding
fiction.
opportunities for them to integrate everything. There's been talk of us having some more public lore, maybe through the website or different aspects. You saw when Crystal Vale launched and you opened up some of the different areas that there was small videos that played. We're heading in that direction because that's all what we want to see as well. That's the stuff that makes us excited, that gives games true replay value, that, it's the type of game where you're going to bring friends in and say, man, this is so cool. But not only is that cool, but this is integrated with this, and this god is the reason that this happened. And
I think one of the biggest, not necessarily struggles, but factors. One of the biggest factors is, you can go and oh man, now I'm blanking on the name. What's the real reality engine? You can go and
Unreal Engine?
Unreal. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
That one. Sorry, I had it and then I started talking. And
it's cool because you said reality and it's like literally the opposite.
Right.
Yeah, unreality. Yeah, so you were there. I give you credit.
Yeah, it's it's a Thursday, but so realistically, like you can go and you can get the Unreal Engine and you can skin a game and you can put out some form of gameplay. That can be done. What that doesn't do, is any kind of like story or storyline behind the game, which personally I agree I'm very much into don't let Rissen lie to you. He's a dialogue skipper. But that's a different story. But especially when you play co-op games where the dialogue opens for everybody, and then he just skips it as fast as possible.
And you see his character all the way down the road as you're like, oh my gosh, the landscape.
He fought the tutorial giver. Anyway, we're gonna move on from that. But so the backstory behind the game, like, I think is very important. But we're in a GameFi space. We're in a crypto space. So we could take the Unreal Engine and we can make a game, but that doesn't give you something to invest in or a way to make a return on your investment. And so that's where I think, everything does shift a little bit as well. And that's why some of the more like full RPG immersive gameplay, while it's important to us and that's what we want to do and that's in the plans, we have to have a platform that people can come and invest in and get a return on their investment first. Otherwise we would just be a AAA game selling you a disc to put in your Xbox. But we're not, because we're
I love
microtransactions.
So like, I'm ready for more microtransactions. If you give me a loot box, like, throw it my way. No, JK.
Everybody's favorite.
I know. I honestly think this is really cool.
We'll have a DFK DLC soon enough.
Perfect,
it'll be $80 for the next DLC.
And it'll do is fix the problems with the initial launch that was already a year late. Yeah.
Are we I actually think this is Cyberpunk, or should we not mention that?
I've been thinking about it a few times. But what, like, the way that this is being put together, I asked that question because this is an interesting world that a lot of people in, like, when you join Cyberpunk 2077, you just see, like, the end result of, like, years of work, but and all of a sudden everyone's spinning around with arms like this, and you're like, I spent $60 on this game. But you guys actually have the ability to, like, pull back the curtain in a big way, which is really, really nice. And then the community that you've built, which I'm seeing all of them, some of them saying very nice things about me, so thank you in advance. They're all probably saying shit, but I choose to only pay attention to the positive ones. They, like, you now have this, like, amazing community built up that like will, like, go to bat for you against, I don't know, just any other DeFi GameFi game that comes out. And, like, there's a world too, because since it's all on chain, where we could actually, like, battle other, like, communities can battle with, like, their own, like, I don't know. It's just, this is a really interesting time in the game development sector and in games in general. And I just think it's a really cool opportunity to see the behind the curtain.
Our community
awesome.
too has direct impact on how we build the game.
Right.
There's a lot that the community has, done or said or expressed. Oh, we like this. We don't like this. We bring up an idea of, hey, we brought something up in an AMA and we got huge support or huge backlash well before we put energy and effort and money and time into developing it. That's actually not to toot Bolon's horn at all, but that is his whole
Please
job.
Toot.
And that's one of the reasons our community is so great, is we have a lot of energy that's spent. We have over 30 moderators. We have multiple community managers. Bolon is the community director. And we're in there constantly, and we also force the rest of the game devs to pop into Discord and talk to people.
Yes, but interact with humanity. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what it's like. Is like you're seeing, let's say, something like Cyberpunk when it was started 6 years before it launched. All right, 2 months into it, you're getting a sneak peek at the drawing room of, hey, this is kind of how we want it to look.
Well, that's what's really interesting too, is like we have our beta site and we have our production site, but realistically the entire thing, production and all, we're in open beta right now. Like, we are in development. We aren't a game that's been built for 5 years and is now put out. That's not, we launched with just a DEX and a gamified UI, but it was just a DEX. Then we added liquidity pools, we added our heroes. So, like, that's one of the things, and obvious price and market and all of that fun stuff aside, not going down.
Hey, it's all down, so we're good. All right.
But even that factor aside, at any time in the last, what have we been up for 9 months? Any time in the last 9 months that somebody has joined our Discord and said, am I too late? our entire community's response has been not at all, because we've just started. We
Right.
haven't developed our game yet. We are developing our game. Our community right now is getting to invest in the development of our game and influence the development. So it's very, very
I want to add on that,
interesting. Yeah.
if I can, because I think that that's a really great point. Well, first of all, if you want to listen to your community, they want to win gold, not tickets. Just saying that, but I don't think
Yes.
and that's no shocker. But the other thing that I'll say is that oftentimes in these instances, like what you guys are doing is a Herculean effort, right? It's like people who love gaming, building games for other people who love fucking games and want to, maybe be involved and own some of it, right?
Yeah.
And who knows what happens after that. But I'd push back like on the community, like the community expects you guys to make it the best ever, but really it's the community that makes it the best ever. If the community gets behind it and believes and contributes and is active, like that's how this wins. That's how this becomes the best thing ever. So like really, I think oftentimes people are like, oh, these people left a project or like this, whatever. And like, not that you guys are going to do that. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying that it's really the community themselves. Like if the community stays, these are all like, for the most part, like decentralized projects. I know there's gameplay and a lot of kind of stuff that goes into this that not everyone has the expertise to, but what we're building is like a decentralized future where theoretically folks that are in the Discord can like contribute to the game. They can like provide services, and if that's engineering and development, amazing. Or storytelling, right? Like fan fiction and lore. Why should fans not be creating their own Unreal Engine clips based off the characters? Like that's
Tron
Web3.
2024. This is her platform. This is it. All right, we're setting it up now.
We've had lore. We have the builder program. We have a whole DFK dev Discord that we interact with. We are open with every portion of this.
Well, and even beyond that, the video clips that Rissen mentioned earlier that are in Crystal Vale, as well as the trailers for Crystal Vale, all of that was actually done by a community member who won a contest that we ran in Discord. So we just we ran because we run contests about every week, and so we ran a contest that was just like a little animation thing. Some of our team saw it, really liked it. Our art department really liked it, so we reached out to them and we actually contracted them to create these assets for us. So
if anyone's looking for a job in Web3, here we go. This is your opportunity.
So it goes both ways. Like we're always looking for feedback and their input. We did, absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
Hopefully,
so we look for like feedback and input as well. But even beyond that, we needed videos, or we wanted videos. So why would we go look for an animator somewhere else? We have our community that we can look at.
Yeah, which we've hired people out of the community. One of our community managers that works directly under Bolon, was very early, and then he became a knight, and then now he's on the core team, and
which is a moderator for us. But
nice.
And I mean, he came from the community. We have a couple other people on the team who have come from community. There's just always we have such a talented group of people that we want to listen to them first and foremost, of course, but they're already here.
Yeah, nice.
I love it.
Well, guys, we're coming up on 50 minutes here, and one of the things we like to ask is just inside Web3, inside DeFi Kingdoms, inside life. What are you guys excited about right now? What gets you up in the morning?
Rissen, go ahead. I'll go second.
Put me on the spot.
Yeah, payback.
Honestly, there's definitely been some rough times in the last couple of weeks with this market and everything. And one of the things that's excited me the most about this whole project and why I've been on it since when we joined is the ability to change how things are done long term. To change the power, change the position people are in, open up availability, connection, and control over what's happening in their lives. And you saw during this time that the true believers in that, whether or not be with us, true believers in our project or in other projects, or just in Web3 in general, who know that this is the way that it's going to be, that this is the future, that this is what's going to make the greatest impact. And those people aren't looking at charts, they're not looking at graphs, they have their head down, they're building, they're pushing forward. And those are our people. Those are the people like we talk about when we have a bad day. We'll go in Discord and talk about just build. Up day, build, down day, build. That's Fox's quote.
And sideways.
And sideways. Oh yeah, market sideways, build. Because we
insert applause track here, like
yeah,
standing ovation.
That's the stuff that gets me excited. Like, I just love our Discord, our Twitter, like any chance that we have to talk to the community, because that's the best part of what we do.
Do they have a good meme library?
Crypto Meme Team Goose.
Oh my god. we don't talk about some of the memes they made of us.
No, we don't. But first off, we have Crypto Meme. Crypto Meme makes some phenomenal memes. We also have Crypto Enoch, who makes some phenomenal memes. And then, I mean, don't get me wrong, we've got a ton of community members who make really, really quality memes. But those two guys, I like. They're so
Bolon,
fast.
it's actually been a while since we had a meme contest. Maybe
maybe.
Do it.
Let's pull shots from today for the meme contest. Screenshot away, friends. Screenshot away right now.
Every time we live stream,
it's thousands of
screenshots of me.
Thousands.
The best. Well, the worst. So one of our in-game tokens is a bloater, and we were in Barcelona for the Avalanche Summit, and 8 of us decided to get the bloater tattooed on our feet, which is like this angry-looking fish. So then, we get back from Barcelona, and the next day is our Crystal Vale launch, which is our expansion onto Avalanche, and so we're doing a live stream to celebrate the launch, and of course people start asking about the tattoos, so I showed the tattoo, and now there's just pictures of my feet floating around the internet.
Are we doing it again? Is this a redux? Is this everyone else's opportunity to grab a screenshot? Are you wearing socks is the first question right now. I'm not either. My toesies are wild and free.
Wait, Bolon, you have to show us the tattoo. Show us your foot.
All right.
The people want it. The people want it. This is what the people want. Ah! Amazing.
If you were,
and I just had to ask.
Tags on here.
I had to ask Bolon, is that what you're most excited about? Waking up every morning and just looking down at your foot and being like, you know what? I did it.
I don't even have to look down. I can just go online and see the pictures of my own feet circulating on the internet.
I do want to say that I did get this swag brought back to me from Barcelona. So.
Yeah,
very nice.
That's a good stuff.
That is.
Well, that's cool. So and Bolon, what are you most excited about?
Shorter than
Nice.
Rissen did.
Okay.
But
Jeez.
so my answer is going to be twofold. First answer, super cheesy answer, but honestly, it's getting to like work with this community all day, every day.
And your best friend.
No, I try to forget you're around. But our community really is just absolutely like not even in crypto, just any community that I have ever worked with, managed, they don't even hold a candle to the community that we are fortunate enough to have. So, every day that I get to interact with them and, represent them and make sure that their opinions and feedback can be heard by our team is just an honor and a privilege. Aside from that, the thing that I think that I'm, is just getting me out of bed every day, honestly, is just how awesome and dedicated our team is. Like, through thick and thin, through everything going on, it just doesn't matter. We just we do what we need to do. We make any adjustments that we need to make, and we keep going. And it's still just always such a positive environment and atmosphere. And that to me is one of the absolute best things on a daily basis. It's just everybody's happy to be here. Everybody wants to be here. And we just look out for each other and make sure that, we're still having fun no matter what else is happening while we get work done.
It's
great
it's
to
a large
hear. Let me
team, but
wipe
it's
my
very
tears
close.
real quick. Yeah. That's great to hear. And I actually just noticed we went before when we were showing the duels, there was 300 or 400 people in, but there's 800 people in here now. So while we're closing out, why don't we show off a duel one more time? And then we won't give any, we are not going to update any of the new people that have joined, but we're just going to make sound effects. Yeah, we're just going to make sound effects while it's happening, and then we'll close out the show for today. To all the people who jumped in, yeah, thank you. This is Play Economy. We love you. We'll be here on Twitch every Thursday at 4. Today was with DeFi Kingdoms. We'll constantly be talking about Web3 and GameFi and everything we're building there. Thanks again. I'm Rhinosaurus Rex.
Is it time for the sound effects?
Sound effects, go!
Wait, is this one of the ones I win?
No, I picked one you lost.
We got sound effects coming in. Everyone throw sound effects up in the chat.
For Rissen losing.
Yeah.
Womp womp womp.
And to finish it off, Ghost Panda, Bullish. Thank you.
Yep. That's how we sign off from everything. That's
Bullish.
That's the thing. Bullish.
All right. Well, thanks everyone.
Thanks for having us.
It's been real.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.